Good morning, guys and girls. Please let me know if I'm audible. Yeah, am I audible? Hello. Ankit, Sricharan, Mansa, good morning. Aparna, Sakshi. So, can someone just confirm whether I'm audible and is the audio and video clear? Hello. नींद में हो क्या उठ जाओ Good morning, very good morning, guys and girls. Please revert back if you are able to hear me clearly, if you are able to see me clearly. Yup, it's the question of the year. Am I audible? And I need the answer of the year. Yes, sir, you are audible. So, can someone please confirm? I think I'm not getting messages. Oh my God, right now I started getting messages. Good morning, Ankit, Sricharan, Mansa, Aparna, Sakshi, Ayush, Nikhil, V. Agrawal, and so yes, I am audible. So, today I want to start with a very short story. Actually, good morning, Krishna. There were four frogs. This is a story about four frogs in a jungle. You know, frogs? Frogs, pata hai na? Mendak. Yeah. So once upon a time, the four frogs were just hopping around in the forest, like they were playing or doing something like that. So they were hopping around in the forest when suddenly two of them fell into a pit, a huge, deep pit actually. So what happened? So rest of the guys were they got very afraid. Like what will happen now? Because two of them were deep inside the pit and they were barely holding up. And and the two remaining, they were just looking at them and they were saying, okay, please do something, okay, save yourself, jump higher. And the two of them, they inside the pit, they started jumping as long as they can. They were trying to get out of the pit, but somehow they were not able to do it because it was too deep. It was very difficult for them to cross it. And meanwhile, many more people joined in. I mean, some new frogs came in, some crickets, grasshoppers, birds. So many of the animals, they got around there and they were trying to motivate them. Ki, okay, just do something, do something. And then what happened after half an hour, when they were still trying to get out of the pit, but the people who were out of the pit, they realized that this is not going to work. There's no way in the world that they can survive this. So one of them started, okay, there's no point, give up, die. So one of the guy sitting above, he said, die, there is no point. No matter what you do, you'll never be able to get out of the pit. And then suddenly everyone out there realized that, okay, there is no point in this, there's no point in this, and they are about to die. Then they started what? Then they started demotivating the two guys who were trying to jump and save their lives. They said, okay, there's no point. Just give up, die. Don't pain yourself. Don't just make it hard for yourself. Just leave. Just leave. Let go. Die. And then suddenly everyone started demotivating them. Now what happened is one of the frog who was trying very hard to get out of the pit, he got so demotivated, he just gave up. He gave up and he fell inside the pit and he died. But the other one, he still kept on trying very hard. He still kept on trying. So no matter what people were saying, he just kept on trying, kept on trying, kept on. Even these people started demotivating more. Are you mad or what? Just die, let it go, die, die. They were aggressively demotivating this guy, and he was so the more aggression they used to, so the more higher the jump he used to take. And gradually, somehow, he made the final jump, and he was out of the pit. And then everyone was surprised, like how come he got out of the pit? I like no one was able to believe. And then they asked, like, what is the problem? We were saying something and you were not even listening. So somehow that another frog conveyed that I'm deaf, I can't hear, I'm deaf. So The moral of the story was other people were trying to demotivate the particular frog, but he was not. He was thinking, he said that I felt that you were motivating me, and that gave me power. So he was deaf, so all he could see was actions. So based on actions, he assumed that these guys are motivating me, and because of you guys I jumped higher every time your motivation increased. But on the other hand, the fact was, as he was deaf, he couldn't hear, but the fact was they were not motivating him, they were trying to demotivate him. So what is the moral of the story today is, it is very important what you say in the world. So if a friend of yours, if a student, if someone else comes and asks for some help, be be very careful that every word that you utter then on can be life changing for someone. So, and the most important moral for students here in the story today is, don't get demotivated based on other people's thinking. Don't get demotivated based. See, there are students who are just messaging me, sir, we have started just 1 month back and we are not able to finish the entire syllabus. Do you think I will be able to clear it out? You know what? They are not looking for no as an answer. They are just looking for motivation, because nothing is impossible. Even I have seen people starting studies 1 month before the exams and still they are able to crack it. So yes, I always say yes, and please never demotivate any of your friends, because it is a life changing decision. CA is not just a profession, it's a dream. It's a life that you choose for yourself. So with this thought, I will start today's journey. Hello friends, my name is CA Adarsh Joshi. I am a chartered accountant by profession and a professor by passion. I have wonderful grip on law as well as BCR. That is the reason I am teaching law and BCR in foundation. I am teaching law for intermediate and I am also taking law for CA final. दोस्तों, I've uploaded 115 plus videos. I have actually uploaded 135 plus videos on YouTube. I've garnered more than 1,35,000 views, and students have watched more than 5,50,000 plus minutes of my videos online. Other than that, I have uploaded hundreds and hundreds of videos on Unacademy platform. I'll just show you shortly. This is an Unacademy platform. Just take a look, guys. There are plenty of things that you can study for. Just select CA foundation here, and once you select there, so you will get a lot of classes. You'll get daily live classes, you'll get so many things. You'll get special classes, free courses, mock tests, MCQ sessions, a lot of things. And other than that, if you go for plus, you'll get structured courses in English and Hindi. You'll get 14 plus top educators. They'll be coming down to teach you, and one subscription for all. So even like if you go and see, just check this out. So here you can see, as you can see there, it was there were some options. I'll show you the options later on. I will talk about subscription later on. This is just a foundation channel on which you are watching a lecture now. I would recommend each one of you to just like this video right away before we even begin, and subscribe and hit the bell icon for this channel, because we have uploaded hundreds and hundreds of videos to help students for December 2020 foundation students. All the 4 subjects are covered, all the playlists are there. Okay, now this will be our schedule for the upcoming week. Please make note of this. Today at 9 a.m. we are doing this revision batch, and today again 2 p.m. we are going to solve what? RTP May 2020. Then what will happen on 4th, that is tomorrow, we are going to directly meet at 2 p.m. Oh my god, sir, what about 9 a.m. batch? Okay, so what I have already promised you, I am shifting the revision batch from 9 a.m. in the morning to 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So 4:30 p.m. every day we are going to meet for revision batches. As I've already said, I am going to increase the hours of the revision batches as well. So say we are going to study for 2 hours in a day every day till the time we finish our syllabus. So we are going to meet twice in a day, at 2 p.m. once and at 4:30 p.m. again. Okay, so please make note of this. Okay, I was talking about Unacademy subscription, so I just want to highlight something. So see, you have 4 subjects for foundation and 8 subjects for intermediate. There are total 12 subjects. For that, outside they ask you 1 lakh rupees, and wherein you get 12 classes of 12 faculties that you can watch once, and with the validity of say 6 months. Now what I am asking is, just pay me 21,000. Okay, you think it is more, it is a huge amount, 21,000. No matter. You use CAADARSH as your referral code. So then what will happen? So you will get 10% off. What is 10% of 21,000? 2,100. So you'll end up paying only 18,900. Now, sir, this 18,900 can also be credits can also be utilized here, and this 18,900 can further come down. And whatever is left after applying your credits, you can convert this into no cost EMI, wherein the interest cost and processing charges has been taken care of by the Unacademy platform itself. Now this 21,000 will give you 24 months access to Plus platform, wherein more than, I think, for all the for CA Foundation Intermediate, there are more than 300 faculties classes that are available. So you can watch any lecture, anytime, any number of times, no matter what speed you want, what faculty you want, what language you want. You have all the options in the world with respect to your studies. So this is a win-win situation for each and every student out there. Don't forget the referral code CA Adarsh. It will allow you to get 10% off in all the subscriptions. Okay, so where were we have covered a lot of things, and I think we were about to start this communication of offer and acceptance, if I'm not wrong. We were about to start with communication of offer and acceptance. Yeah. So let us, yes, we have already defined acceptance. We have defined this relationship, and felt house was done. Yes, we left our class here, and now we are going to continue. So good morning everyone, those who have joined after Krishna, Nandini, Ayush. Okay, Aparna was there. Venkata Rao, Joshi bro, hi. Hello Venkata Rao, how are you? Sir, explaining what so-called internal sources are doing to us by saying exams will postpone. Yes, Ayush, that is correct. Don't get, don't be a frog. Don't be a deaf frog. So whatever people are saying, just don't give heed to them. Just ignore them. Focus on your own studies and your result will speak. They will be shocked and astonished by your results, and make sure you don't speak but your results do. So that is the best reply ever, that I will not speak, my work will speak. Okay. So let us start with communication of offer and acceptance. Today it's the most important day because you cannot miss any word today. So be active today. So guys and girls, the most important thing is, when does a communication completes? If even if you are communicating an offer, if you are communicating an acceptance, when does it complete? It's very important, so that we can understand till when we can revoke the particular thing. Say for example, offer. So we need to understand when does the offer complete, so that we can revoke it before it completes, or maybe we can revoke it before it gets accepted. So let us understand about communication. So time is an important element in communication, and the communication of offer is said to have been complete when it comes to the knowledge of the person to whom it is made. So for example, I would say, simply speaking, communication of offer completes when it comes to the knowledge of offeree. When it comes to the knowledge of offeree. So let us take an example to understand. Say Mr. A wants to communicate an offer. What offer? He wants to sell his car for 1 lakh rupees. And this is Mr. A is planning on selling this car to Mr. B. So now what Mr. A does is, Mr. A writes a letter. He writes a letter, say on 1st of January 2020, and he sends it by post. So he posts it on 2nd of January 2020. And then what happens? This letter reaches Mr. B on 4th of January 2020. Okay, yes. And Mr. B reads this on 6th of January 2020. So my question to you guys is, when does the communication of offer complete? It's very important, please. Good morning, Manisha, Somnathan, Sadhu. Very good morning, everyone. So nice to see you all. Please answer. Today it's your day. You are going to speak. I am going to listen. Sir, someone is saying 6th Jan the communication completes. But then he receives the letter on 4th Jan itself now. He receives the letter on 4th Jan itself. Then why are you waiting for 2 further more days? 6th Jan, because that is when it comes to the knowledge of offeree. Because when you read something, then it comes to your knowledge. Just because I have received a letter does not mean I already know the content of the letter. I will have to open it, I will have to read it and understand it, and then I can say, okay, now he has given me an offer. So then the offer should have completed. So very good, your answers are correct. 6th Jan 2020 is the answer. Now, good morning, Nikhil. So now suppose let us take some more examples. Suppose a letter was posted on 10th of March. Please be careful here. Letter posted on 10th of March and letter reaches on 12th of March. So when does communication of offer completes? Very good, Sakshi. That is Amazing. So yes, sir, communication offer completes on 12th itself. What would have happened if he didn't read the message then and there? Mere receiving is not enough. You have to read the message then and there. So in this example, he reads the message on 15th of March. So hence 10th March, he sent the letter and he receives it on 12th, but he reads it on 15th. So the answer will change to 15th of March. You know this, right? Now let us understand when does communication complete, and this is the most important part wherein a lot of people are making mistakes. So please let's practice as much as we want but not make any mistakes in this part. Now, sir, we need to understand two things with respect to this mode of acceptance and when is acceptance complete. Let us first consider mode of acceptance. You can accept by any act or by an omission. Okay. Now to communicate to the other for or what which has the effect of communicate to the other. Now communication can be done by words, whether written or oral. Written words include letters, telegram, faxes, emails, and even advertisements. And oral words include telephone messages and all those sort of things. And other than that, I would like to say that how would you communicate omission? So omissions can be conveyed by conduct or by forbearance on the part of the person to convey his willingness or assent. Now the question arises, when does communication completes? When does communication completes? So there are two things that we need to take care of in this. So communication of acceptance is complete in terms of section 4. It is complete in two cases. It's different two cases. As against the proposer, it is when it is put in the course of transmission to him, and as against the acceptor when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. I hope you guys remember this. Do you guys remember this? When this communication of acceptance completes, as against the proposer when it is put in the course of transmission to him, and as against the acceptor when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. So let me ask you some simple question. I don't know what has happened with this presentation. It's not working properly. Okay. So now A wants to sell his car to B. Okay. So A says to B, buy my car for 1 lakh rupees. Who is the offerer and who is the offeree? Who is offerer and who is offeree? Who is offerer, who is offeree? Sir, A is offerer, B is offeree. Very good. Now who has a right to accept it? Who will be acceptor? Who will be the acceptor? Sir, B can only be an acceptor as well if he chooses so. Okay. So now imagine a scenario. A, Mr. A writes a letter on 1st of January 2020. Please look at this example very carefully because this I don't want you to get confused in this. A writes a letter on 1st of January offering to sell his car to Mr. B for 1 lakh rupees. Okay, sir. The letter reaches B on 2nd of Jan 2020 and he reads it on the same day. He reads it on the same day itself. When is the communication of offer complete? Communication of offer completion date. Completion of communication of offer. So 1st of Jan he writes the letter and posts it. On 2nd of Jan he receives the letter and reads it. So when is communication of offer complete? 2nd of Jan. So I'll write 2nd of Jan 2020. We have already done that. Now, Mr. B is very happy with the offer and he wants to accept it. So what Mr. B does, he writes an acceptance. He writes an acceptance and posts it on, say for example, 4th of January 2020. So this is the date of posting it. And the letter is received by Mr. A on 8th of January 2020, which Mr. A reads on 10th of January 2020. Now my question to you, please be very careful. When is communication of acceptance complete in case of Mr. A? In case of Mr. A, when is the communication of acceptance completed? 10th of Jan, communication of acceptance with respect to A. So, so whoever has written 10th of Jan, I think they are all wrong. I think they are all wrong. Let us understand why. See, just keep this read this very carefully. Read this very carefully. Now, who was the proposer in our case? A was the proposer and B was the acceptor because he accepted the proposal. Now, what we have studied is as against the proposer, communication of acceptance completes when it is put in the course of transmission to him. So, when was the letter put in course of transmission to Mr. A? On 4th. So, the answer should have been 4th. I told you you are all going to make a mistake here because in my class itself I have taken not less than 10 to 10 examples. Still people are making a mistake. So today we are going to take further 10 examples. I will make sure that you don't make this mistake in exams. Okay. Now when does communication of acceptance completes with respect to Mr. B, that is the acceptor? Let me check. Sir, we have written this before your question started. Oh my God, when did that happen? As against means in with respect to. For example, with respect to proposer, when will acceptance be completed? So that is meant by as against. Okay, 10th of Jan is the correct answer when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. 10th of Jan. Is that clear? Okay, very good. So I hope you guys understood this. So let us take one more example. A writes a letter on 4th of October 2020, which reaches B on 10th of October 2020. Now B gives acceptance on 14th of October 2020, which reaches Mr. A on 16th of October 2020. What has happened is A writes a letter on 4th, B receives it on 10th. B writes an acceptance on 14th, which A receives on 16th. When is communication of offer completed? On which day communication of offer completes? Oh my God, Shraddha is saying sir कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. इतना ऊपर क्यों लिख रहा? अरे we don't. अच्छा, okay, okay guys and girls, my bad. Okay, my bad. I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. Yes, we'll do one thing. We'll solve here properly. We'll solve properly. Okay. Arre, what is this? What is this nonsense? Huh, yeah. So again, I'll tell. A is the offerer. He writes a letter. Say, I'll change the date because मैं मन से date लगा रहा हूँ. So say now let us take August. So 1st of August 2020, which reaches B on 10th of August 2020. Arre, August ray. Now B gives his acceptance on 18th of August 2020, which reaches A on 26th of August 2020. Communication of offer, fast. Fatafat. Yes, we don't have much time. We have plenty of time in the world, but exams are near. बड़ा बड़ा लिखना. हाँ हाँ, बड़ा बड़ा लिखेंगे. Yes, no problem. Okay, so communication of offer completes on 10th of August 2020. Very good. Communication of acceptance with respect to offerer. With respect to offerer. Who is the offerer? Mr. A. What should be the date? Everyone has to answer. Everyone has to answer. Please, guys, this is important. That is the reason I am asking you. Please answer. Please, please, please answer. Guys, answer. 26th, 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 26th. I'm getting a heart attack. Shraddha. Uh, uh, I'm getting an heart attack. Okay, I will repeat again. So these dates are dates of postings. Okay, these are date of posting, and these are the date of receipt. Okay. So if A posts a letter on 1st, it is received on 10th. If B posts a letter on 18th, this is on 26th. Okay. Now, vendor's communication of acceptance completes as against the offerer. Who is the offerer? Who has put an offer? Sir, Mr. A has given an offer in this case. Yes, finally someone with logics. Sir, communication of acceptance, it is clearly written the as against the proposer when it is put in the course of transmission to him so as to be out of the power of acceptor to withdraw the same. So here it was put in the course of transmission, that is the date of posting on 18th of August 2020, and hence the date, the answer should be 18th of August 2020. I will take as many examples as you want, but I will make sure no one answers wrong today. Next question. When does communication of acceptance completes as against the acceptor? As against the acceptor. That is Mr. B. He is an acceptor in our case. Because after this we have to learn, we have to understand revocation as well. If you don't understand acceptance, how will you understand revocation? If you don't know when is acceptance complete, when does acceptance complete, then how will you know till when can you revoke it? So it is very important, which is the most crucial concept in your CA foundation law. 26th, when it, because it is written that as against the acceptor, the communication of acceptance completes when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. So whenever it comes to the knowledge of proposer, the acceptance would be complete. So when does it come to the knowledge of proposer? On 26th of August 2020. You guys getting it? Okay, I can still see that some of the people are not answering correct. So as I have promised, again, A is offering B. Okay. So A post say 3rd March 2020, which is received on 8th March 2020. Now what happens? B gives acceptance by post on 12th March 2020, which is received on 15th of March 2020, which Mr. B reads on 20th March 2020. The first question remains the same. Offer. Let us talk about communication of. So it is CO, offer. Communication of offer. What is the date of completion of communication of offer in this case? Date of completion of communication of offer. Please guys, be fast. Fast and furious as well. Communication of offer completes on, very good, Aparna has given the correct answer, 8th of March 2020. Yes, very good. When does communication of acceptance completes with respect to, listen carefully, with respect to acceptor? I'll confuse you now. I will confuse you now. I will confuse you. With respect to acceptor, when is the communication of acceptance complete? With respect to acceptor, very good, 20th March 2020. 20th March 2020. Why? Because on that day he read it. It is written when it comes to the knowledge of the sorry, Knowledge of the proposer. So when does Mr. A reads it? Mr. A reads it on 20th March 2020. So it comes to the knowledge of proposer on 20th March 2020, and hence this 28th March 2020 will be the date of completion of acceptance. Yeah, I'm very dangerous. When does communication of acceptance completes with respect to proposer? With respect to proposer. This was acceptor, right? So we are looking for proposer. Come on. Very good. On when it is put in the course of transmission to him. When was it put in the course of transmission? On 12th. Now is it clear for everyone? Is it clear for everyone now, or do you want me to take further examples? Please revert. Is it clear now, or you want me to take any further examples? You want me to take some one or two more examples? I'll check. I'll check. Okay. So what I'll do is, okay, I'll. So if you are making a clear one more example. So Nandini is saying, sir, we have to take one more example. So just for Nandini, anyone else can answer. Everyone can answer. In fact, Nandini, A and B are entering into an agreement. They're trying to enter into a contract. A writes a letter and posts it on 5th of April 2020, which reaches B on 10th of April 2020. Okay, now B writes his acceptance. B writes his acceptance on and posts it. Writes and post on say for example 12th of April 2020, which reaches A. Acceptance has been given by B to A, so it reaches A on say for example 15th of April 2020. My question remains the same. When is communication of offer completes? When does communication of offer completes? When it comes to the knowledge of, yes, Nandini, Pratham, Pooja is, they all are saying take some more examples, and hence we are taking some more examples. When does communication of offer completes? Wow, amazing. When it comes to the knowledge of offeree, that is 10th of April 2020, when Mr. B receives the offer. Okay. Now Mr. B has given his acceptance on 12th, which reaches Mr. A on 15th. So my question is, when does communication of acceptance complete as against the proposer? That is, as against Mr. A. As against the proposer. That is Mr. A. When does communication of acceptance completes as against the proposer? As against the proposer. When it is put in the course of transmission to him. So when was it put in the course of transmission? On 12th of April 2020. Fabulous. You guys are mind blowing and awesome. Now, when does the communication of acceptance completes as against the acceptor? As against the acceptor, that is Mr. B. When it comes to the knowledge of offerer or proposer. So when does it come to the knowledge of offerer? On 15th. So hence the answer would be 15th of April 2020. Is this clear now, guys and girls? Are you still making? Are you still confused? Are you still making mistakes here? We'll take some more examples shortly. Okay, I hope, but many of you are have clearly understood what is the date of acceptance, completion of date of acceptance. Okay. Now, if you are giving acceptance over telephone, telefax, or fax, it will be instant. So there is no rule for that. So because I will say, will you buy my car, and you will directly say yes or no. So there is no date of acceptance, so it will be same on that call itself. Okay. Then communication of special conditions. So now what do you mean by special conditions? Have you ever traveled via airplane? Have you ever, caught a flight to somewhere? Crystal clear. Kya baat hai, Pratham? Thank you. If you are liking this, if you are liking my efforts, please don't forget to share my efforts, because see what is happening. If you study a lot, and I don't take exams only. If I don't take exams only, that has been happening with students from May attempt. So you are feeling frustrated, right? You are feeling bad, you are feeling frustrated. Every teacher out there who is putting all his efforts, to teach students, that too is not charging much, or he's not charging a penny. Even for a lot of my classes, 80% of my classes are free of cost, uploaded on YouTube. I feel bad if people don't share my videos. I feel frustrated when people don't like my videos. I feel turned out when people don't comment on those. So it might be a very small gesture from your side to share the videos, to like the videos, to drop a comment, but it acts like a huge bomb of motivation for teachers like me. So please promise me, if you ever find a teacher who is passionate about his subject, who is passionate about teaching, please don't forget to share his videos, because that is the motivation that we are looking for. So we understand your situation, you understand ours. So don't forget to share this class, don't forget to like the class, don't forget to put it on your social media. Yeah, tag me if you can find me on Google. Put it on social media. Let them know that we are doing something for students. Okay, and share as much as possible. Now, have you ever traveled via airplane somewhere? So you might have received a ticket, the boarding pass, a ticket. So please note the ticket once. If you try to look at the tickets carefully, you'll find there are plenty of terms and conditions written behind the tickets. Acha, but you might have gone to some libraries, right? Have you ever been to any libraries where people study? So if you go, even if in your college libraries, you just pay for the library and you get a receipt. Now behind that receipt, there are so many rules. Yeah, be silent in the library. Your phones must be either on silent mode or switch off. Do not eat inside the library. Do not leave your books open in the library. Take your books with you home. Don't leave your books overnight in the library. Now all these rules are being given behind the ticket or a note, behind the receipt of the particular thing. Now that is known as special condition. So sometimes there are situations where there are contract with special conditions. These special conditions are conveyed tacitly, and the acceptance of these conditions are also conveyed by the offeree, again tacitly or without even him realizing. So the moment you pay for the library, say for example you have paid 1000 for this library, you have received a receipt. Now behind this receipt, there it is written that by paying us an amount, you agree to all the below rules and regulations. You agree to abide by all the rules and regulations. Same thing happens with the airplane tickets. It is written that yatri apne saman ke liye swayam zimmedar hai. Like traveler is only responsible for his own luggage. We are not responsible for your luggage. We are not responsible for any accidents, if and so it happens. If the flight crashes or anything happens to you, we are not liable, or our company will not be liable. The moment you buy the ticket, you accept all those terms and conditions. Those terms and conditions are known as special conditions. So for instance, when a passenger undertakes to travel, the condition of travel are printed on the back of the tickets. Sometimes the special conditions are brought to the notice of passenger, whereas sometimes they are not so brought to the notice of the passenger. In any event, the passenger is treated to having accepted the special condition the moment he bought his ticket. So you don't have to give an extra acceptance to it. It is assumed that you have already accepted the, even though impliedly, tacitly, but it is assumed that you have accepted the case. Now, in the case of Mukul Datta versus India Railways, what has happened is his family member died in an airplane crash. But he couldn't recover a single penny. Why? Because airline company, this Indian Airlines said that when you bought our ticket, it was written behind the ticket that Indian Airlines will not be responsible for any accidental death, or if any plane crashes or anything happens and a passenger dies in the plane. So it is clearly written, and hence, as Mukul Datta has accepted a ticket, or his family member might have accepted the receipt, it would be assumed that those people who are traveling, they have accepted these terms and conditions, and if something has to happen to them, the airlines and the company will not be liable for that. So that was the case given in case of special condition. Also, there was a case of Lily White versus Manuswamy, wherein Mr. Manuswamy was sorry, Lily White or something, I don't know, I don't remember the parties, but they had a laundry. So what they did was, when you give your clothes to laundry, they give you a receipt. Okay, we have received 5 pants, 6 shirts, 1 blazer, 4 this, 5 that, whatever. Now what they did was, behind the receipt they wrote one line, that if something has to happen to the clothes, okay, with respect to color, with respect to fabric quality, okay, whether it is whatever happens, whatever, if the clothes are destroyed, or something has to happen to the clothes, the laundry people will only pay 15% of the market value of the cloth. So if I buy a new jeans, say for 5,000 rupees, I buy a new jeans, I give it to the laundry people, they will pay me only 15% of that amount if something happens to my jeans. Which was not correct, which was like it is like more like a cheating. Like you are doing something and you are not taking responsibility for that. So court held that these terms and conditions were not adequate, and the respective documents still they were not adequate, and this should not have happened. So the court said that we will not accept this 15% thing. You will have to pay a bit extra. Yeah, I can understand, Sharan, but try putting it on your own Instagram if you can. Yes, case study आया था पूजा, that is correct. कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. You guys are doing a lot for me. Thanks a lot for that. I love you a lot from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Now, there are some standard forms of contract. It is well established that standard forms of contract may be enforced on another who is subjectively unaware of the content of the document, provided the party wanting to enforce the contract has given a notice which, in the circumstances of the case, is sufficiently reasonable. But the acceptor will not incur any contractual obligation if the document is so printed and delivered to him in such a state that it does not give reasonable notice on its face that it contains some certain special conditions. In this contention, let us consider a converse situation. A transport carrier, it is very important, please concentrate. A transport carrier accepted the goods for transport without any condition. Subsequently, he issued a circular to the owners of the goods limiting his liability for the goods. So what he did, he accepted the goods, and later on he gave the notice that my liability on these goods will be limited. I will not be responsible if something has to happen in between the transport. Now, in such case, since the special condition were not communicated prior to the date of the transport, these were not binding on the owners of the goods. It was given in Raipur Transport Company versus Ghansham. What has happened is he accepted the goods first, and then he mentioned that I will not be responsible for the goods that you are transporting using my service. So this is wrong, yaar. At the time of accepting the goods itself, you should have mentioned, okay, so you are giving your goods to me for transport. I will not be responsible if anything has to happen to those goods within transport. Okay, so you should have said this before accepting the goods. Now, once you have accepted the goods, you are saying I will not be responsible for these goods. This is not correct. If you would have said this to me earlier itself, I would not have given the goods to you. I would have searched for another vendor who takes the responsibility. Simple as that. So this was happened in the Raipur Transport versus Ghansham cases. Now, communication of performance is also important. Communication of proposal is complete when it comes to knowledge of the person to whom it is meant. Acceptance of the proposal at the same time can be viewed from the viewpoint of proposer and from the viewpoint of acceptor. We have also studied that from the viewpoint of proposer, the communication of acceptance completes when it is put in the course of transmission to him, and with the viewpoint of acceptor, it is complete when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. Now, I have certain examples. I think this sums up very good. Offer completes when it comes to knowledge of offeree. Acceptance complete when proposer when it is put in the course of transmission, and for acceptor when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. Now let us try to understand acceptance as well. So this performance as well. So at times the offeree may be required to communicate the performance by way of acceptance. In this case, it is not enough if the offeree merely performs the act, but he should also communicate his performance unless the offer includes a term that mere performance will constitute acceptance. In case of Khalil versus Carbolic, what has happened? It was given that whoever uses my smoke balls, we will assume that they have accepted our terms and conditions. So here you had to do nothing extra to accept the particular offer. Now, a very golden question, a very important question. So is there something like only 100 rupees payable? What is that? Sir, nominal. Yes, Mansa, we are going to do nominal damages today at the end of the class. Okay, we are going to do nominal damages. Manisha, you will have to ask me a bit clear question. I'm not getting what you are asking. Okay, okay. Now, let us see revocation of offer. Sir, can a person revoke an offer? Yes or no? Can you revoke your offer? And if yes, till what date can you revoke your offer? Fast, fast. I need answers. I need answers. मैं answers का भूखा हूं. Give me answers. Be active, guys and girls. Be active, man. Oh my God, is there a lag? Shri Charan says there is a lag. Yes, Shraddha says, sir, yes, offer can be revoked before it gets accepted because acceptance is to an offer what a lighted matchstick is to a trail of gunpowder. Correct? So, offer can be revoked before acceptance. Acha, can an acceptance be revoked as well? Can an acceptance be revoked as well? And if yes, till what date? Court only allow 100 rupees. In some chapter there is concept that court only allow 100 rupees. I am confused about the concept. I am confused. Where have you read that? Manisha. So what you can do is you can message me and ask me wherever you have read that and I will answer you. Yes, yes, yes. Sir, acceptance can also be revoked before it is completed. Now, completion of acceptance is different for different people. For acceptor, it completes when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. And for proposer, it completes when it is put in the course of acceptance. So yes, acceptance can be revoked before it is completed for yourself. So for you, for the acceptor, it is completed when it comes to the knowledge of proposer. So before it comes to the knowledge of proposer, you can revoke the acceptance. Yes, okay. So that I've already. So now there are two parties. I always create two parties in this. What are the two parties? Sir, first party is hello, 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 hello. Please, please concentrate. This is important. This is important. This is what you were here for. Now there are two parties. Maker. I like to call them maker, and I like to call them receiver. So what is this maker and receiver? This is a self-made concept. Please never write maker and receiver in exams. In exam, you have to write it like this. As against the person who makes it. I like to call it a maker, but you have to say as against the person who makes it. So sir, communication of revocation completes as against the maker when it is put in the course of transmission to the person to whom it is made, matlab receiver. So as against the maker, communication of revocation is completed when it is put in the course of transmission to for the receiver. Are you getting it? Hello? I know it is difficult. I know it is difficult, but it is not impossible. Nothing is impossible. Just like CA. It is difficult, but it is not impossible. So let us take an example to understand this. Okay, let us take an example. So now suppose we are talking about revocation of offer. Let us keep things simple. Revocation of offer. So sir, we have to understand when does revocation complete. So in case of revocation, it completes as against the maker. Matlab maker is a person who is revoking the offer, and receiver is a person to whom this revocation letter is been sent to. As against the maker, this revocation of offer completes when it is put in the course of transmission to receiver. And as against the receiver, when it reaches, see, it is clearly written, when it comes to the knowledge, and to the knowledge of whom? To his own knowledge. So when he receives it, when it comes to his knowledge, it's as simple as that. Means I am posting a letter, for me revocation done. If this letter has been posted to you, so when the day you receive this letter, communication of revocation is done. So let us take an example. Now suppose Mr. A made an offer to Mr. B to buy his car for 1 lakh rupees. The offer was posted on 1st of January 2020, and it was received, please be careful here, it was received by B on 2nd of January 2020. When was communication of offer completed? When was communication of offer completed? Second, very good. Sir, इधर communication of offer complete हो गया. Very good. Now let us go ahead. So now Mr. A is not happy with his offer. Whatever offer he has made, he is not satisfied. So he wants to revoke the offer. Mr. A is thinking to revoke the offer. Can he do so? Yes, he can revoke the offer. Sir, Mr. A post a revocation on 2nd of January 2020, which is received by Mr. B. Again, revocation is been sent by offerer. A is sending the revocation which is received by B on 4th of January 2020, and we will assume by this date Mr. B has not accepted the offer. We will assume he has not accepted the offer next 2 days. So please answer me, when is revocation completed as against the maker? When does revocation of offer completes as against the maker? The revocation of offer completes as against the maker, matlab the person who is revoking whatever is being revoked, it is completed when it is put in the course of transmission. It is put in the course of transmission. And yes, so on 2nd itself, the revocation is complete as against Mr. A on 2nd itself. Now, when does revocation completes with respect to Mr. B? When does communication completes with respect to B? When it comes to the knowledge of Mr. B, and hence here the communication of revocation completes for Mr. B when it comes to the knowledge. When it comes to his knowledge. Clear? On 4th, understood? Crystal clear? You want some more examples on this? This is very simple. So let us do one thing. We'll take a combined example now. We'll take a combined example. Okay, we have done this revocation. Okay, so ordinarily it is very important, or offerer can revoke his offer before it is accepted. If he does so, the offeree cannot create a contract by accepting a revoked offer. So it is, please keep in mind, an offer can be revoked before it is been accepted by the offeree. Once it is accepted, you cannot revoke the offer. Now, so there are so many things. Revocation. Yeah, let us see this example. X offered to sell 50 bales of cotton at certain price and promised to keep it open for acceptance by Y till 6 p.m. of that day. Now, before that time, X sold them to Z. Y accepted before 6 p.m. But after the revocation by X, in this case, it was held that the offer was already revoked. Why? Because he has already sold this to someone else. Again, A proposes by the letter sent by post to sell his house to B. B accepts the proposal by a letter sent by post. A may revoke this proposal at any time before the moment when B posts his letter of acceptance, but not afterwards. Whereas B may revoke his acceptance at any time before or at the moment when the letter communicating it reaches A, but not afterwards. So we'll test our knowledge here. Okay, my God, it is getting confusing for people. Okay, you want me to repeat revocation, right? Sakshi and okay, only Sakshi. Sakshi, you want me to repeat revocation, right or wrong? Yes, you want. I think you want me to repeat the revocation. Okay, so revocation में दो चीजें हैं साक्षी. एक तो है maker. Example for it is okay. No problem. Okay, just Sakshi, do one thing. Sakshi, Nandini, just do one thing. Just just try to solve this test your knowledge once. And even after this test your knowledge, if you can't understand, I will repeat. I will repeat. Okay. Just try this once. Mr. A, please be careful. This is very important. I want answers from all of you. A offers to sell his car to B by post on 1st April 2020. Letter reaches B on 4th April. Suppose B posts his acceptance on 7th April, which reaches A on 10th April. So offer made on 1st reaches 4th, acceptance done on 7th reaches 10th. Now my question to you is, when does communication of offer completes? When does communication of offer completes? We have done this all, so I expect all the correct answers now. 4th of April, correct. Sir, communication of offer completes on 4th of April. When is communication of acceptance completed as against the proposer? When does communication of acceptance completes as against the proposer? So, sir, as against the proposer. When does communication of acceptance completes as against the proposer? When it is put in the course of transmission to him. So when was it put in the course of transmission? So 7th of April. Very good. When does communication of acceptance completes as against the acceptor? When does communication of acceptance completes as against the acceptor? Today's lecture is very important, I told you. Communication of acceptance as against the acceptor. Very good. When it comes to the knowledge of offerer, that is proposer. So when does it comes to knowledge of proposer? On 10th of April 2020. Now, here can you revoke the offer? Yes, sir, we can revoke the offer. Sir, what would be the last date of revocation of offer? Like what would be the last date before which you will have to revoke the offer? What would be the date before which you will have to revoke the offer? It is very crucial. This answer has to be correct now. Think about it and then answer. What will be the last date before which you can revoke the offer? I'll give you a hint. Offer can be revoked before acceptance. Before acceptance. And for you, acceptance completes on 7th, and hence offer has to be revoked before 7th. Now Nandini and Sakshi, are you getting the point here? Sir, acceptance for me, if I am Mr. A, for me acceptance completes on 7th of April. Now if I want to revoke my own offer, I will have to do it before the other person accepts it. So when does acceptance complete for me? For me it is completing on 7th April and I have to revoke the offer before 7th of April. Correct? Perfect, logical, very good. Now, can Mr. B revoke the acceptance as well? Can Mr. B revoke the acceptance as well? Yes, sir. You can revoke the acceptance. What will be the last date before which Mr. B can revoke his acceptance? What will be the last date before which Mr. B should revoke his acceptance? Wow, wow, amazing. Yes, perfect. Sir, Mr. B can revoke it before 10th of April because on 10th of April, acceptance is getting completed for him. On 10th of April, acceptance is getting completed for him. So he will have to make sure that he revokes it before the acceptance is complete. So with this, I think now you don't have any problem because each and everyone has given the correct answer. I think yes. Okay. Still, I will add one point. When does revocation completes? It is not mentioned, but I am adding it. So revoke, if suppose you want to revoke an offer on 6th of April, suppose Mr. A, because you can revoke an offer anytime before 7th April, right? So suppose you decide to revoke it on 6th of April. So the offer would be for maker, that is Mr. A, because Mr. A has made the offer, he alone has a right to revoke it. Mr. A, if he chooses to revoke on 6th of April, for him the revocation is complete on that day itself. Revocation completes. Why? Because he's a maker, and for a maker, revocation completes the moment he puts it in the course of transmission. So on 6th of April itself, the revocation would have been done. Now suppose this revocation letter reaches Mr. B on 7th of April. Suppose the revocation letter reaches B on 7th of April. So now when does revocation or communication of revocation completes for Mr. B? When it comes to his knowledge, and hence यहाँ पर revocation complete हो गया for Mr. B. So it is very simple. Revocation is very simple. When a maker revokes, it is complete for him. When a receiver receives a revocation, it is complete for him. Simple. Yes. All clear. Very good. Chaliye, let us do some more exercises because I just want to be crystal clear that none of my student makes any mistake. A offers to sell his car by post on 3rd June 2020. Letter reaches B on 5th June 2020. Suppose B posts his acceptance on 8th June 2020, which reaches on 12th June 2020. Here, what is the date? When does offer complete? जल्दी बताओ मुझे डेट ऑफर कब कंप्लीट हो रहा है. मनीषा लव यू लॉट थैंक यू इफ यू फील सो दैट मीन्स आज का मेरा दिन बन गया. This clearly means that I was useful for this day. Today's day is not wasted for me. Thank you. Please share. Please share as much as possible. Yes. Okay. So you are saying, sir, 5th of June. I will write your answers down. We will check whether these answers are correct. Okay. When does communication of acceptance completes? When does communication of acceptance completes? For A. Communication of acceptance for A, offerer. When it is put in the course of transmission to him. When was it put in the course of transmission? 8th of June 2020. Now, when does communication of acceptance for B is completed? Communication of acceptance for B. B is what? B is an acceptor. So communication of acceptance for acceptor as against the acceptor completes when it comes to the knowledge of offerer. So when does it comes to the knowledge of offerer? 12th of June 2020. Very good. Then revocation of offer. Till when can an offer be revoked? Sir, offer can be revoked anytime before 8th of June 2020, right? Communication of offer can be revoked at any time before 8th of June 2020, before acceptance is done. Very good. When does revocation of acceptance can be done? Till what date revocation of acceptance can be done? Sir, revocation of acceptance can be done before communication is completed for the acceptor. So communication is complete for acceptor on 12th of June. So yes, before 12th of June, anytime before 12th of June 2020, मतलब letter reaches A, उसके पहले आपको करना है. Okay. And if you are revoking, say for example, I'll take an example. So suppose you are revoking on 7th April. So on 7th of June, suppose you are revoking on 7th of June 2020. So 7th of June, the communication of revocation is complete for revoker, that is maker. Who is the maker? Here in our case, it is Mr. A. And suppose it reaches B on 8th. So communication of revocation is completed as against Mr. B on 8 when it comes to his knowledge. With this, we have done this perfectly, and I hope you are entirely clear about all the concepts. Okay. Now, what is important? Okay, if you are not following post, if you are doing it over telephone, communication will be done instantaneously. There is nothing to teach here, and ओके रिवोकेशन में एक और चीज है दैट रिवोकेशन ऑफ प्रपोजल अदरवाइज देन बाय कम्युनिकेशन व्हेन अ प्रपोजल इज मेड द प्रपोजर मे नॉट वेट indefinitely for its acceptance and can be revoked after the reasonable time lapses. So how can you revoke a letter offer? So revocation of offer can be made by notice of revocation or else by lapse of time. In case of Ramsgate Victoria Hotel Limited versus Montefiore, यहाँ पर it was held that a person who applied for shares in June was not bound by the allotment made in November because it was a huge gap. I have applied in June. You are giving me in November. I don't want it anymore. There has to be a time before one can make an offer and mother has to accept. There has to be some reasonable time. Okay, so just go through this. It's not very important and not very difficult to understand. Just go through this. And by non-fulfillment of condition precedent thereto also a revocation can happen. Say for example, A proposes to sell his house to B for 5 lakh rupees provided B leases his land to A. Now if B refuses to lease the land, in itself it means that you have refused the offer as well. The offer has been revoked because you are not fulfilling a condition that is required for the offer. Yes. Vineet, yes, whatever your doubt is, I am all ears. Thank you, Aryan. I am very happy that you guys are feeling that this is important. Yes, simple as that. If you are talking over a phone or telefax, whatever is received first will be. So if it is by post, then it is difficult because it takes time for post to transfer whatever you are saying. But if you are on a call, then you don't have to follow all these rules. So if you I offer you that, will you buy my car for 5 lakh, and before you say yes, I say okay, never mind, let it be. That means I have revoked it. Okay. Now, if I say, will you buy my car? And you say yes, and then I try to revoke it, it will not happen. Why? Because you have already accepted the offer. Okay. Yes. Yes. Vinith says, sir, what will happen if offer of revocation and acceptance reaches the proposal on the same date? Whichever he opens first. Whichever, because we are looking for when it comes to the knowledge of offerer, right? So whichever he opens first, it will depend upon that. So if he opens the revocation first, then the offer is revoked. If he opens the this offer first and he puts an acceptance, done. Yes. Now, so by death and insanity, again the offer can be revoked, and by counter offer also the offer can be revoked. And by non-acceptance of the offer according to the prescribed usual mode, the offer gets revoked, and by subsequent illegality, all these are the modes of revocation of offer. Okay. So with this, we have completed our unit 1. So we have just started, Sakshi. This is just unit 1. We have just finished unit 1. We have a lot of units to go, and then entire chapter. This is the first chapter that we have started, Contract Act, right? But speed, obviously, speed is going to increase. We are going to do 2 hours in a day. Right now, we are doing just 1 hour in a day. So that is the reason we are going a bit slow. You might feel that the class is going slow, but trust me, tomorrow onwards, you will not even realize we'll finish it off a lot faster, because unit 1 is a bit difficult to understand. There are many concepts. Unit 2, 3, 4, 5 onwards, it's easy. Yeah. This act, approximately more to this act will take a bit time, I think. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. It will take some time, because it is the most important act. So we cannot hurry up in this. We can see LLP Act is a bit. We can skip a lot of part, or maybe we can go a bit faster. Contract Act, I will never take any chances with Contract Act, because I know it is of utmost importance. Yes, of course, Nandini, it has to complete, because you have to give exams on 8th. And also we are doing RTP batch. Okay, 2 p.m. I'm going to take RTP batch. So don't forget to join that. Okay, RTP, MTP. Now, consideration, there are many things that we are going to see in consideration. So consideration is an essential element. It means quid pro quo, that is something in return. There are many things that we are going to read about this income. Consideration is what? It is a price agreed to be paid by the promisee for the obligation of the promiser. So a valuable consideration in the sense of law may consist either in some right, interest, profit or benefit accruing to one party, or a forbearance, detriment, loss or responsibility given, suffered or undertaken by the other. So this is very basics of the consideration that has been given. The definition given about consideration is like, when at the desire of the promiser, the promisee or any other person. Oh my God. So first thing first, the consideration must flow from the desire, because it is written when at the desire of the promiser. Secondly, it is written that the promisee or some other person has done or abstained from doing, or does or abstain from doing, or promises to do or abstain from doing. Means consideration can flow from promiser, or promisee or some third party as well, and the consideration can be past, present or even future. Okay, for something, such an act or abstinence or promise is called consideration for the promise. So when you read this definition thoroughly, you will understand a lot of concepts about consideration. For example, the consideration is an act of doing something. It can also mean an act abstinence from not doing something. It can also mean that if you can, for example, I have said now that you were going on the road and suddenly you bumped up someone's car. Then that person is, he came out, he was very aggressive, and he said that I will sue you in the court of law. So you calmed him down and he said, okay, please listen to me. I am ready to pay whatever damages you might incur. I know I have made a mistake. Your car is hit by my car, but whatever loss you might face, whatever the repair charges are, I am ready. I am willing to pay. I am ready to pay. Then why do you want to go to court? Instead of going to court, I am asking him to abstain from doing something. I'm asking him, don't go to court. I will pay you repair cost, and over and above that, also I will pay something for your troubles. Okay, so this is also a consideration. Then consideration must move at the desire of a promisor. We have some case laws for that as well, and it must move from promisee or any other person can even. So there can be a stranger to a consideration as well, and consideration may be past, present, or future. All these points we have already understood by just taking a look at the definition itself. Now 2 p.m. I am going to come back live on this same channel with RTP of May 2020. We have solved, I think Contract Act is done and we were about to start Sale of Goods Act. If you are interested in solving RTPs, MTPs, past examination questions with me, please join me. I have already solved RTP November 2020. I have already solved mock test paper October 2020, and today and also we have solved the Contract Act part of RTP May 2020. Today we are going to do at 2 p.m. on this same channel RTP May 2020 Sale of Goods Act and further. So don't forget to join me there. Yes. Now consideration is not, consideration is nothing but a promise or performance that parties exchange with each other. Now legal rules regarding consideration. Sir, consideration must move at the desire of promisor. In case of Durga Prasad versus Baldev, defendant promised to pay plaintiff a certain commission on articles which would be sold through their agency in the market. But the market was constructed as per the desire of collector and not as per the desire of promisor, and not at the desire of Mr. D. D was not bound to pay as it was without the consideration and hence void. So it is something in return. So in return means what? I will give something and then I will expect something. So for example, if I want to sell this phone, I will decide what I want in return of this phone. I can ask you for money. I can ask you for your phone. I can ask you for shares. I can ask you for a favor. I can do a lot of things. So the consideration that I am getting must move as per my desire because I am the promiser. I am making sacrifices here, right? And if it happens that the consideration moves as per someone else's desire, I am not bound to make fulfill my part of promise. Then R saves S's goods from fire without being asked to do so. Now R cannot demand any reward for his service as the act was done voluntarily. I didn't ask you to save my goods. You did it voluntarily. So that means the consideration didn't flow as per my desire. You did it yourself. Okay, so you can't possibly sue me for any reward. You cannot sue. But yes, that there's a point. If I promise you some reward, then of course you can sue me for that promise. Because I have promised you that okay, you have done very good for me, I will pay 1 lakh rupees. Then you can lodge a complaint against me that he has promised me reward and he is not paying. But if I have not made any promise and you have voluntarily done some act for me, you cannot sue me for rewards. Then consideration may move from promisee or any other person. We have studied the concept of stranger to a consideration. We know that, say for example, let us take an example of A and B. So what has happened is A bought a car from B. A bought a car from B. So A was supposed to make a payment. A was supposed to make payment. So but what happened is A didn't have money. So A said, okay, I have a brother named C. He will make payment for the car. Is it allowed? Is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed, sir. Even as you can, it's a consideration can flow from third party as well. So that is perfectly allowed. And Mr. A will be known as stranger to a consideration. And Mr. C will be known as stranger to a contract. And you know, a stranger to a contract cannot sue based on what? Privity of contract concept. Doctrine of privity of contract says that a stranger to a contract cannot sue upon it. Okay, so Mr. C cannot sue upon this contract between A and B. Mr. A can sue upon B even if he is a stranger to a contract because a stranger to a contract is not stranger to a consideration. Are you getting it? Yes. Okay, you guys are studying properly. Chennai versus Ramaya. Wow. So मैं अभी और fast पढ़ा सकता हूँ because you already know what is next. That is, I am proud of you all. So an old lady gifted her property to her daughter and said that some part of it must go regularly as an annuity to her brother. But then what happened? The daughter got greedy and she refused to make the payment. So that brother of hers, her mother's brother, mama, maternal uncle, what you can say, her maternal uncle lodged a complaint upon the daughter that you were supposed to make annual payment to me and you are not making it. Daughter said, you are a stranger to a contract, you cannot sue upon me. But it was held that he can sue upon it because he was a part of a contract. It goes as an exception to the rule. So it was held that there was sufficient consideration for the uncle to recover the money. It has happened in Chennaya versus Ramaya cases. Yeah, very good. Then executed or executory, the consideration can be past, present, or future. So if it is past, it is already executed. If it is present, it may be executed or it may be non-executed, yeah, executory. But if it is future, it is definitely executory in nature. So, for example, A pays 5,000 to B and B promises to deliver him a certain quantity of wheat within a month. Now, here what has happened? I have made the payment, but I have not received consideration. I am going to receive it after a month. So, here the consideration is executory in nature for me, but I have made the payment of 5,000. So, it will be executed for the other party, but executory for me. So, here in this case, as A has already made the payment of 5,000 and B has merely made a promise, he has not yet provided wheat. So the consideration paid by A is executed in nature, whereas the consideration promised by B, that I will give you wheat, that consideration which is promised is executory in nature. It is very simple to understand. That is the reason I am going a bit fast. If you have any problem, just let me know. Consideration may be past, present, or future. That is very amazing part because definition itself said promised, promises, or this says any act done, abstain from doing, any act he does or abstains from doing, or he promises to do or abstains from doing. Everything is covered in the definition of consideration. Okay, so in a general principle that consideration given and accepted in exchange of the promise, the consideration if past may be the motive but cannot be the real consideration of subsequent promise. But in the event of the service being rendered in the past at the request of or the desire of the promiser, the subsequent promise is regarded as an admission that the past consideration was not gratuitous. Say for example, A performs some service to B at his desire. After a week, B promises to compensate A for the work done by him. Now it is said to be the past consideration and A can sue B for recovering the promised money. So even that can happen. Suppose A here is working for B at the desire of B. Now B promises, I will make you payment for whatever work you have done that day for me. Now it is a promise. That work done that day was a consideration for the amount that you are promising to pay today, and hence that is valid. A consideration can be past, present, as well as future. Then consideration need not be adequate. We have seen multiple questions about this in our RTPs. We have seen two questions, right or wrong, guys and girls? Yes, it is done. We are done today. For now, we are done. Just 2 minutes. I am ending it now. So consideration need not be adequate because it depends upon the bargaining power of the of course parties, and it can be, the consideration can be more or less as well. Yes, it is the last topic. But exceptionally low price, exceptionally low. So for example, 1 crores property I am selling for 10 rupees. That means there is, the consent is not free. So this can be a evidence for in the support of any allegations. Okay. So performance. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll consider the next points. I will do. Okay, no, I'll complete it. Only 3 slides are left, guys. 3 slides. 3 slides. So performance of which one is legally bound to perform. Suppose I am giving you a case to fight for me. You are a lawyer, and I am already giving my case to you. I cannot promise that if you win this case, I will make 1 lakh rupees payment. Why? Are he is my lawyer. He is supposed to win the case for me. Why should I pay him again extra for that? So that is like group. That is a bribe that I am giving, which is illegal. Say I am going to police, I am reporting I have lost my wallet. If you find it, I will give you 100 rupees. Why will you give him 100 rupees? It is his duty to find your wallet. You should not make him payment, extra payment, and hence that is not a consideration. Then consideration must be real and not illusionary. I should give you real money, not illusionary money. That if you give me 100 rupees, I will make you immortal. Now this is illusionary. It is not possible, and hence it is not valid. If I say that pay me 100 rupees, I will give you a treasure map where 1 crores are hidden. It is all illusionary. And consideration must not be unlawful, immoral, or opposed to public policy. So, for example, A agrees with B to sell car for 2 lakhs. A is under an obligation to give car to B, and B has a right to receive car. So let me give an example. What do you mean by unlawful consideration? If I agree to pay 1 lakh, in return you agree to kill someone for me, that is unlawful, as well as immoral, and as well as opposed to public policy. Okay, so with this we will complete this class for today. Tomorrow we are going to start with suit by third party. Suit by a third party. Just give me 1 second. So tomorrow we are going to start suit by third party, and actually very less is left. Actually, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slides were left. But okay, if you are not in the mood, we'll do it tomorrow, and then we'll start with unit 3. Then we'll start with unit 3. Okay, so don't forget that. If you like these classes, if you're liking these classes, don't forget to hit the like button. I can see only 32 likes are there. If you have not yet liked the video, please do it for me. I love you. I would love you a lot from the bottom of my heart. And today I feel I deserve the likes. Today I feel I deserve the share. So please do share my videos. Also, I'll be coming live sharp at 2 p.m. Sharp at 2 p.m. I'll be live for you with RTP May 2020. Don't forget to join that class as well. And if you're planning on going for plus, also we are okay, please, you can share one more thing. We are launching a new batch in November. We are launching a new batch in November for May 21 people, for May 21 students. So please share our videos as much as possible. Let them know that we teach from the, we are very passionate. I am very passionate about this law. So please make sure every student realizes that as well. So with this, I'll conclude my day. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. See you today at 2 p.m. Tomorrow I will directly see you at 2 p.m. and then at 4:30 p.m. for English revision. So guys, if any one of you are only watching revision classes, next revision class will be is going to be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. not at 9 a.m. 4:30 p.m. We will meet tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. for revision class. We will meet today at 2 p.m. for RTP. We will meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. for RTP again. With this, I'll okay, Mansa has asked me about nominal damages. Mansa, sometimes what happens when you are trying to, just give me 1 second. Yeah, sometimes what happens, there are many different types. Anyways, we are going to do damages, but still, you have asked me, that's the reason. So Mansa, when you say for example, you have entered into a contract with Mr. A, and B has entered into a contract, and Mr. B somehow couldn't fulfill some of the condition. It was not a major one, a very minor warranty. I can say breach of warranty happened, and very minor one, very minor one. So now A and B are good friends, but A has a right to claim damage, and if he does not claim damage, it can happen that he can claim it some other time. So B wants to get it over with. B says that okay, please charge me some nominal amount and just let us end this point. So what A does, A says, okay, pay me 10 rupees, 1 rupee, 10 paisa as a damage. So this will be known as nominal damage. Okay, this is just for the sake of doing it, you are doing it. So that later on, no one gets a right again. Okay, because you might have already used the right with this 10 rupees. So these are nominal damages which are just for the namesake. Nominal means namesake. So, okay. So these are nominal damages. श्रद्धा की मांग क्या है, क्या हुआ? Mansa, I think I have answered your query. Bye, Ria. Thank you, Aryan, Manisha, Mansa, Ankit, and Shraddha, Sricharan, Pooja. Okay. एंड देन देर आर साक्षी, आर्यन, सो मेनी पीपल मैन. और किसी का नाम रह गया क्या? बताओ किसका नाम भूल गया मैं? किसका नाम भूल गया यार? बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो सिर्फ देख रहे. तुम ट्यूब इज ऑल्सो देयर. श्रीचरण का नाम लिया मैंने. अपर्णा, अपर्णा का नाम लिया. एंड देन so I just love you all, yaar. You guys are fabulous. T. Akila Rani. Yes, Sai Verma. Sai Verma. Wow, amazing. So nice to see you guys. I hope you are enjoying the classes. And if you are doing it, please don't forget to share. Pooja. So okay. So I'll see you today at 2 p.m. Bye bye. मेरा तो जाने का मन नहीं कर रहा है, but I'll have to go. I feel like cheating, chatting, but I'll have to go because there is another class starting just now. Okay. Mansa, yes, I think I've answered your question, right? रिया मैं किधर भूला? मैं अभी तो बोला, आपका नाम लिया मैंने अभी जस्ट. Okay, yeah. Today we'll do that. I'll send you the link in the group. नहीं, तुम्हें कैसे भूल सकता हूँ? You are my memer यार. Riya makes a fabulous memes. Okay, don't forget today's story. Don't forget today's story. Don't heed to negative points. कोई भी आपके सामने अगर नेगेटिव पॉइंट्स बोल रहा है, कोई भी डिमोटिवेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, डोंट लिसन टू देम, इग्नोर देम. Someone says exam is not going to happen. Someone says you will not be able to write exams with the mask. Someone says you will get COVID if you go to exam. Don't listen to them. Be positive, be strong, be focused, and only concentrate on your studies, because that your result should speak. You don't have to speak when your result speaks. When your action speaks louder than words. It is said that action speaks louder than words. Do that instead. Okay, fight back. Yes. Wow, Pooja is from Pune. Yes, someone from Pune. Yeah, Pooja will see. I'll see you someday. Manisha. Oh my God, Manisha, you are from Pune. How many of you are from Pune? I know. So many people. Pooja is from Hadapsar. I am from Boat Club. Okay, wow. Wow. Amazing. So we can plan a get together and then anyone interested can join us. Or maybe we can meet on Zoom as well. Ria is from India. Okay, we are from अब जाने दो क्या बोलूं. I am from Mars. Okay, यार आज तो जाने की जिद ही नहीं करने का मन कर रहा है. अच्छा, तुम में से हैव यू एवर, जो कल मैंने गाना गाया था, किसी ने सुना क्या जाकर? जो उसका एक्चुअल वन है, बहुत अमेजिंग गाना है, एक बार जरूर सुनना. व्हाट अ वंडरफुल वर्ल्ड फ्रॉम लुइस आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग. जब भी आप पढ़ाई करके बोर हो गए, आपका सिर्फ डिमोटिवेट लग रहा है ना, just go and listen to that song. Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world. It's a very old song. In fact, black and white, I guess. I guess, but it's an amazing one. Okay, yes, he might be coming live in some time now. Welcome, Ria. Yes, I'll plan Zoom very soon. Poem nahi hai, Ria. It's not a poem, it's a song. It's a wonderful song. Okay, chalo, bye bye. God bless you all. Stay safe. Keep everyone around you safe and try to help people study. Be focused and see you today at 2 p.m. for RTP class. God bless you all. Bye bye. Bye.